All right, well, that brings us through to one of my favorite parts of the evening. And this is where I get to learn a whole lot of new and interesting stuff. And today, it's all about confidence on camera. So we've got waiting there is Jen Trevorrow, who's joined us as our guest speaker tonight. And she's going to be talking to us about how to use video and some really good sort of tools and tips and tricks around how to present with confidence and how to do it well on camera. So a bit about Jen, if you don't know her. I know so there's a couple of people here that do know her, but she's been working in the public training arena. So she did that for a number of years. And one of the things that she discovered was that the difference between presenting on stage and presenting on camera. And there's some real differences, in terms of how you present. And if you're not using video in your marketing, your competitors certainly are, well, certainly some of them are. You're scared of using video because you don't like appearing on screen. Well, guess what? Nor do your competitors either. So if you're the one that gets up and grabs the courage to go and do it, then you're one step ahead of your competitors. So Jen really sort of believes that everyone has a message and really does deserve to be heard. And her program, Be the Confident You, that's what that's all about. And so her role is really to help you to share that message and to do it with confidence. She is a master neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. She's a master hypnotist. So watch out tonight. You're going to be hypnotized and you'll all be confident by the end of this evening. She is a transformational speaker. She does speak very well. And with combining all that together, she's able to create some rapid change in people's confidence, so they're able to get in front of the camera and actually feel okay about it all. Now, she's really mastered some of these tools and techniques to really create some quite simple ways of you getting that connection in video, being authentic, and really sort of using it as a real tool for marketing. So it is my great pleasure to welcome to our stage Jen Trevorrow. Let's give her a massive round of virtual applause.
Well, Nick, thank you so much. How great are sessions like this where you can network, but also learn so much, like all of this AI information and all the tools available to us. I do have some bad news for you though. If you're going to just simply rely on artificial videos, people do business with real people, human beings, and they really want to make connection. There was someone who mentioned about know, like, and trust. It is so true. We want to do business with real people. Tonight, I have tried to cram as much into a very short amount of time. I have warned Nick that he needs to tell me, Jen, speed it up, because I want every single person, no matter how many videos you have already created, no matter where you are on the scale, I want you to all take something away. So it is going to be a little bit more high level. I don't want to spend too much time on each thing, but I've tried to think of what are the biggest excuses that people have not showing up in front of the camera. Also, I love interaction. And if you've got a question as we're going through things, I know Lorraine's been in quite a few of my training rooms. Alan's on here. He's been in some of my trainings before. I love you to interact with me. So either put it into the chat, or if you've got a burning question, put up your hand so I can see it. And let's get some interaction in here so you can all walk away with something. The topics I wanted to quickly talk about tonight was the importance of having a video marketing strategy. You know, you could be putting out a reel or a TikTok every day, but if it's confusing your audience, it can actually be doing damage. And we don't want that. We want to have this strong strategy that brings people through the aspects of our business that we want them to know. And that includes knowing our customer journey and all of that sort of thing. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go into the full depths of that tonight, but how to show up with confidence in front of the camera. People can tell a huge difference from the second they feel you, and I'm not saying they hear you, but when they feel your energy, they can tell if you're being authentic or if you're faking it. And I know a lot of people think you just got to fake it until you make it, but with the right strategies, you can just be it. Now, a simple way to structure your talking points. This is a big one because so many people rely on this script and they spend ages writing pages and pages of notes. but it doesn't work. What it does is it puts our mind into overwhelm, and it takes away any authenticity as well. So we don't show up as the real human being. I remember years ago when I first went into a sound booth, Aldwin would probably understand this, with doing voiceover work. When you're trying to read a script, it is very, very different to the spoken word. So unless you've got a script writer who can write in the spoken word, using scripts isn't going to be serving you. So there's some ways of being able to structure your talking points in a way, and I'm going to give you one of my favorite structures for short form video tonight, so that after tonight you can quickly go and create your own video with confidence. I'm going to give you a secret strategy to get you up to 98% more views, and how to make better connection with your videos as well. Now, video content, it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money either. Video is something that we have all of the tools that we need in our home and in our office now. With the capability of our smartphones, all we need to know is how to use it. I'm not a big fan of this slide, but I know for some people, they need to know a little bit more about me. So instead of reading through some of my qualification and what led me here, I thought I'd share a couple of quick stories with you. I used to be absolutely petrified of public speaking. Now, a lot of people working in this space, they've either come from acting or journalism. I wasn't that. I remember having this immense amount of fear building up into me that actually turned into anger before I did present. I've frozen on stage. I literally snapped a violin string when my mum was making me get on stage to play. Like, you name it, I've done it. I quickly turned off and deleted live videos because I didn't have the strategies I needed. It wasn't until one day I decided to face my biggest fear, and I went to a public speaking training. Now, during this training, I learned a lot, and I was quite blown away. I walked in with my knees knocking, and I walked out with 3 really big realizations. First of all, public speaking is a learnt skill. It's not something that you either wake up and you're good at or you're really crap at. It's a really learnt skill. The next thing is transformation can happen with the right coaching and the right strategy. The next most important thing was my internal attitude, what I was saying to myself before I was presenting. And at the time, it was like, people are going to judge you, you're going to make a mistake, you're going to make a fool of yourself. And so I was putting that energy out there before I was getting up to present. After that, I got such a big learning that I went on and dove deeper and deeper into learning the art of public speaking and the way the mind works. I'd already learned that. I've done my diploma in marketing and business management and the psychology behind what makes people spend money, pretty much. And what I realized was some people are amazing on stage and some people are really bad on camera. But what is that difference? Because as Nick was saying, it's the fear is different, the hesitation is different, and the strategy is completely different. And after working for 6 years in the public speaking training arena, I niched into video after working with a lot of different video production companies, by listening to their clients and by working out what the strategies are that are going to work today. So speaking on camera, speaking in public is a learnt skill, but speaking on camera is a learnt skill as well. Now, when Philippa first came to me, I thought I'd put this in here. I absolutely loved working with Philippa. Her first ever video that she did was actually costing her money. It was losing credibility, and it would have been turning potential clients away. So we worked together. This was after 3 months, and the transformation that she had was incredible. What I would love for you to do tonight is to trust the process, to take something away from each section and to implement it, to make sure that you are making your time worthwhile being here tonight. So why is video important? I'd love for you to put into the chat, why is video important to you in your business? I love the stats and like the facts around video. Did you know that 68% of consumers now will go and look at a businesses social media short form videos before making a buying decision. That's 68%. It used to be that they would go and read a heap of reviews, and yeah, they might do that, but 68% are wanting to see your videos, and guess what? They're wanting to see you on them. In 2023, the average person spends 17 hours of watching online videos every single week. 17 hours. And my question is, are they seeing yours? Aldwin, sharing from the heart and having impact. Amazing, amazing. Video is the most engaging medium you can use to get your message out. Absolutely, Paul. So some amazing things coming into the chat there. But there is no other way, if you have not met someone in person, to create that know, like, and trust and that connection than there is through video. If you think about reading a book, now I've cried reading books, but was it the words on the page that made me cry, or was it the emotion I gave the words on the page? With video, people can feel us. People can feel our energy, and I often say that people will feel us before they see us. And if they haven't seen us, they won't hear us. So it's all about the emotional state that we can create with people. In one of our programs, Lorraine's done this, is all about connecting with stories and metaphors, the most underutilized tool that people could be using in their business. Because stories can create these amazing neurological pathway shifts within your audience that they can't feel a difference if it's their own memory or if it's a story they're being told when it's told the right way. So video is an incredible tool. Does anyone in here get nervous? You can put your hand up, you can keep your video off. But nervousness is nothing to be ashamed of. There's actually a quote by Paula Kremer, and it's nervousness is nothing to be ashamed of. Nervous means you care and you really want to do well. But if nervousness is stopping you from showing up, there's some strategies that you can do to be able to show up with more confidence and to show authenticity. Has anyone seen anyone present before and you've just been like, oh, this is awkward, they're just faking it? Has anyone else seen someone present like that? Nick has, yep. We need to have strategies. Everything that we do in life all comes back to the strategies that we're playing. But why do so many people fear it? Now, with public speaking, it's the combination of 4 fears combined. So it's the fear of judgment. What will people say about me? What will they think of me? The fear of failure. What if I make a mistake? What if I stumble? The fear of rejection, which is one of the most interesting fears because we're only actually born with 2 fears, and one of those is the fear of rejection. Why do you think someone is born with the fear of rejection? If you look at a litter of puppies that are all really, really cute, if the puppy gets rejected by the mother, what happens? It doesn't survive. And then one of the biggest ones is the fear of uncertainty. And I have seen professional speakers that get paid thousands of dollars to do these amazing speaker spots. Like one I watched, and he got onto stage and he had his clicker there with his slides, and he's going, slides aren't working. Slides aren't working. What am I going to do? And he walked off stage and he said, I can't do this. Because he was so hooked on having certainty. Now, Nick and I had the conversation. We're good at working on the fly. I love people when they ask questions during something. But if we know what the fear is and where it's coming from, we can do something about it. A lot of people will come to me though, and they'll go, it's not the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty. What they're most concerned about, and this may be you, is not having control of who's going to be seeing it. Because when we do put something out onto our social media, and if it gets 40,000 likes, 30,000 views, whatever that number is, we don't necessarily know who's seen it. And the most people I speak to, they're more concerned around their peers and their family seeing their video content. So there needs to be a way of being able to tap into reducing those fears to show up with confidence. So if it's okay with all of you, do you want some tips on how to show up more confidently. Anyone want some tips? I've got Paul nodding. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Interact with me. All right, let's look at what nervousness feels like. This is definitely me. So the first thing that happens is I usually get a bit of a shortness of breath. I start breathing from the top of my chest, my axillary, and my breath becomes a bit shorter. And then the next thing that usually happens is my shoulders get a bit tenser. Anyone else a bit of a shoulder tense when they get a bit nervous? And then you start sweating, heart pounding, get a bit clammy, heart palpitation, shaky voice, you get hot and flushed. I'm a real sweater, so that hot and flushed feel really, really, really happens to me. Anyone else feel like that? Anyone? Marlene's yes, yes, yes. Lorraine's yes, I love it. I love the participation. But what does excitement feel like? You get a bit of a shortness of breath when you're excited, a bit sweaty, pounding heart, a bit clammy, heart palpitation, a shaky voice, feeling hot and flushed. Ooh, can anyone see any similarities between the two of those? Excitement and nervousness has exactly the same physiological shifts within it. The only thing is different is the name that we're giving it. So if you start feeling those first signs of nervousness, and it may be a little bit different for you, you may skip the sweating and you may go straight to the heart palpitations and the shortness of breath. You may be still breathing diaphragmatically or from your stomach, but you're still feeling nervousness. So if you're feeling nervousness, ask yourself at the very first stage, am I feeling nervous or am I a little bit excited? I think I'm feeling a bit excited. It's amazing how much we can trick our brain when we understand what's happening to our physiology and what's happening in our body. Now I can see there's a few people in the chat. I'm sharing my screen, so I can't check it. Nick, let me know if there's anything in there that I need to know.
Oh, lots of good comments there about how they feel.
How they feel. Oh, yeah, is anyone else a sweater like me, or is that just me? Because I'm half Greek. Yeah. Okay, Lorraine's with me. I get it. I get it. The next thing is to embrace exposure therapy. Now, Nick said tonight in one of his lives, I think it was, that when he first started, it was awkward and it was uncomfortable. The more we do something, the easier it gets. Who remembers when they first started driving a car and you sit in there and you put your seatbelt on and you grab the steering wheel and you're like, I've got to do the whole 10 and 2, 10 and 2. And then it's like, okay, where's my clutch? Where's my, and it's so much to think about. It's the same. I've got an almost 8-year-old. And when I was first teaching him how to brush his teeth, it was like I had to show him step by step. But after a little while, it becomes like second nature. With the astronauts, if we look at what they do to prepare to go up into space, NASA will put them in simulated chambers for a short amount of time. And then they'll simulate it for a little bit longer and a little bit longer until their body gets used to it. Now, if you're just getting started on video, a great thing to do that's not only serving you, but serving others is if you've had a really great experience with a business, just say you've come along to one of Nick's events, you do a quick, hi, my name is, and I've just attended Nick Cree's webinar and I got the most amazing value from it. If you're in business, you need to go and see these webinars. Send it to Nick. Send it to Nick. Don't even put it on your own social media. There are so many different strategies of just showing up little bits by little bits. Now with short form video, what you could do is have your video, your phone filming you doing what you do every day. You could be sitting writing an email to someone. It doesn't even have to have context. But to get comfortable seeing yourself in front of the camera, you can have all the words put up with really easy technology these days. One of the easiest editing tools that I use is called InShot. Very inexpensive, but it gives you the right ratios. You can have pop-ups come on. There's lots of different things you can do with very simple tools. And we're so lucky that if you're at the stage that you're creating your own video content, you've got it all on your mobile phone. There's no excuses anymore. The next thing to do, I've mentioned a little bit about breathing from the top of your chest and breathing from your stomach. It makes a huge difference for nervousness, but also how we control our voice. So when we can breathe from the top and we're all stressed and we're tensing up, we're only using 20% of our lung capacity. When we can shift down and breathe from our stomach, we're actually using 80% of our lung capacity. Now, square box breathing is one of my favorite breathing techniques because it will send signals to your nervous system that you are calm, that you are safe, and that you're in control. In a lot of our trainings, we'll start a training by doing this, plus we'll add in speaker stance, and then we'll do expanded awareness. And the three of them combined is like this superpower of being able to show up with confidence and authenticity in front of the camera. For the sake of time, because I am concerned about your time there, Nick, what I want to do is just tell you how to do square breathing. And if you are listening along live now, what I want you to do is breathe in over 4 seconds. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And keep going around until you can feel yourself becoming more grounded, until you can feel your body being more present in the moment. And what this will do is send signals to your nervous system that you are calm, that you are fine, and that you're right where you're meant to be. Did anyone who's on Zoom right now do that and feel a difference when you were doing some box breathing? Lorraine did. I can see Lorraine there. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, I can't see your name. I can see your hand coming up. The thing's covering your name. Sorry. Yeah. The next thing to do is think of 3 ways that overcoming the fear of being in front of the camera that will positively impact your career, your business, or your life. Have these written down. I'm a massive fan of post-it notes. I've got on all corners of my screen, so it doesn't matter what my eye pattern is doing. I have these positive things, my goals, all sorts of things on post-it notes all around my whole house, actually. And when they change, my husband comes home and he's like, "Are you okay? Is there something I should know?" But it's good to be able to visualize what they are. So think of what 3 things that could happen, what opportunities could come, what doors could open for you when you put yourself out there. And I say when because we don't really have a choice anymore. As business owners, we need to show who we are for people to want to do business with us. If your competitors are utilizing video and you're not, they have a huge advantage. But more so, if you're not showing your personality, you're not attracting your right tribe, because people are attracted to people with similar values, similar likes, similar beliefs. So put it in the chat, what are 3 ways that overcoming the fear of public speaking that will positively impact you? So 3 more steps to more confidence. Who are our videos for? Pop it in the chat. Who do you think your videos are really for? Who will it help? And we've got to embrace the mistakes. Have I stumbled on words tonight? Absolutely I have. Did Nick? Yeah. Did his phone fall down? Was it 3 times in your life this afternoon, Nick? It happens, but it's about being comfortable and embracing mistakes. So we've got to get very comfortable with if we stumble on a word or if we say something a little bit different. I've worked with a lot of people that have got accents and they're like, "I've got to try and hide my accent because it makes me sound different." And I'm like, let's look at a different way of looking at your accent. So think about how you can shift from it being focused on you to being focused on others and who they could help. When I first started, I was working in the beauty industry, and I worked with some incredible people, and I worked on film and photography shoots for about 25 years. What happened was women especially would come in and they'd be like, I hate having my photo taken. I hate being on camera. I hate the way my voice sounds. And before I even started coaching, before I knew what I was doing, I would ask them that question: who will it help? Who could you reach? Because when we're in front of the camera, our videos are not about us. Our videos are all for the people who need our help. Unless you're an influencer, that might be a little bit different. But we should be thinking about what value can we add with our content. Now, who's got, I can't even see the name. Is it Jessalyn? Is that right? Price? Sorry, I've got a little bar. Have you got your mobile phone handy? What I want you to do, and if you're watching, I want you to play along at home as well. What I want you to do is get your phone, sit it where you normally would, put it on your, like taking a selfie, so get into your camera and turn it around so it's looking at you. And I want you to take a quick photo. So anyone who's watching this, I can just see a couple of people on my screen right now. I just want you to take a photo. Okay. Once you've got that photo, I want you to stay in selfie mode, but I'm going to give you a couple of little tips on how to look great on camera. If you have an iPhone, if you look at the first phone that's on the screen, you will see there's a green dot, but on the other side, there's the red circle. That is where the lens of your camera is. A lot of Android phones, the lens is on the inside. You can see it. It's a really slight gray, almost looking. It looks like the pin of it, like the head of a pin. Can you all see that? If anyone needs help to know where it is, let me know. All right. What I want you to do is take a second selfie, but what I want you to do is bring your phone about 10 degrees above eye line, so it's almost halfway up your forehead. Now what I want you to do is tilt your phone in just slightly, just really, really slightly tilt it in. And I want you to look at the lens of the camera, and I want you to smile. Take another photo. Can anyone see a difference if they flick between the two photos? Margaret, I can see you're having a look. Can you see a difference between the two? Oh, you're on mute. I don't know if you weren't able to mute.
Can you just go through that again, please?
Okay, so you take your first photo, looking at yourself on the screen. Just take a photo. Then what I want you to do is lift the phone up. So the top of your phone is in the middle of your forehead. Then I want you to tilt your phone in about 5 degrees, so just slightly. Then probably need to lift your phone up a little bit higher there. It's hard with the background, it's hard to see. Can anyone see a difference between the two photos? Looking at the lens of the camera compared to May, tell me what you can see. What's the difference?
Definitely a better angle, isn't it? It's better
angle.
Yeah.
So eye contact can be the difference between someone believing what you're saying to be true or not. A lot of the time when I go and scroll through social media, what I'll see is people and it looks like they're looking to the side. And it's because they're not looking at the camera. Now, Paul, you're at the bottom of my screen at the moment. Does this feel like I'm looking at you and connecting with you? No. How does that feel for you, Paul? Does that feel better?
Yep, now you're looking straight into the lens.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're a videographer,
and also
so you
your camera's,
understand this.
yeah, and your camera is at eye line.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're also well framed in your screen.
Rule of thirds. I won't get into the rule of thirds. I'll leave that one for you, Paul.
Yeah.
But there's
Whereas Ray is sitting in a pool of quicksand and he's gradually sinking out the bottom. You know?
And it happens a lot. So
Yeah.
your lighting and your framing and the height and depth of your camera can make a huge, huge difference with how you connect. And it's the simple tips that can make a huge difference. Like I had a videographer come in and help me with my studio setup. Now, if I had my daytime setup at nighttime, I wouldn't look the way I look right now. So it's understanding all of these components, but you don't have to be a videographer to get amazing results.
No, that's right.
When you know how to use it properly. So always
Jeff over there is trying for a job on Hey Hey It's Saturday as Dickie Nee.
All right, so I want to break this myth that you need to go and buy a heap.
I'm having a shot at my friends.
That's all good, all in good humor. But you don't need to have amazing equipment. And when I first started, I didn't have anything. I've slowly built it up. But can I say that my studio isn't filled with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment? This is a quick reel I did the other day because I was reminded of what I used to do when setting up. And I was talking about, I used to try and fit it in pot plants, and then I'd get all dirt in the charger and my phone wouldn't charge anymore. But there's things that you can do. It's about utilizing what you have. It's about knowing where your lighting is coming from. And if you've got harsh light coming from behind you, like an open window, it's going to be incredibly unflattering. Now, another thing to do is optimize your phone settings. I'm an iPhone girl, so I know a lot about the iPhone settings, but even going into your camera settings, if you do have an iPhone, and make sure you're filming at the higher quality to be able to get the best results. Locking your AE lock so that it's focusing on you, because your camera lens has a white light balancer that's going to distort you at times. So there's lots of different things that you can do to create your own great video content. There is a time and a place for. Absolutely, I love working with video production companies because there is a time and a place. But for your social media, it doesn't have to be a big production. All right, did you know you only have 3 seconds to grab your audience's attention? Can I say with short form video, that's a lie? It's 0.7 of a second now. 0.7 seconds for someone for you to grab their attention. You think about it. They're watching 17 hours a week and they're doing this. They're not even looking at the content unless it's grabbed their attention. So how are we going to do that? Please stop starting your videos with hello, my name is. People want to know what's in it for them. What can you add? What value can you add? What problems can you solve for them? And how can you entertain them? Now, I've got a program that I've just launched, and it's all about creating your own short form video content, no dancing and no pointing required, because that's not me either, and you don't have to do that. If I had to lip sync my way to success, I would never be successful. So you don't have to do that, but you got to think about, how am I going to grab people's attention? This could be a game-changing tool for you. If you say you in the first sentence of your video once, you can increase your views by 66%. If you say you in a variation of you twice, you can increase your views by 98%. Now, this was studied over 30,000 YouTube videos. How are more people getting more engagement? The number one thing searched on YouTube is how to. Who else has bought an appliance or been investigating which appliance they want to invest in and gone onto YouTube and written in how to? I do it with everything. I don't remember the last time I looked at a manual. If you don't have a how-to video, if you've got a product or a service, you're really missing out on potential sales. But with you, what we're doing is we're automatically making it about our audience. How can we help them? How can we serve them? How can we solve their problems? How can we show that we understand them? So I'm going to give you a simple structure for your talking points. I remember when I first started creating videos, and I was doing, when I was in the beauty industry, I was doing hair and makeup tutorials, skincare routines, all of that sort of thing. But what I didn't have was a structure for my talking points. I remember getting onto live videos and going, hi, just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait. Has anyone been on a live video and they're like just waiting around for someone to start talking? Please stop doing that if you are. When you get started, always think of how can I hook them in, which we're going to get to as well. But when we've got a structure for our talking points, what it stops us from doing is just rambling and losing where we are. I'm going to go through how to properly prepare tonight as well. And one of those key things is, what is that one key message that I want to get out? So when we've got a structure for our talking points, it keeps us on track, but a great structure keeps your audience engaged as well. I'm going to give you a really great structure. My family, the boys are obsessed with Star Wars. I'm not a huge fan, but I absolutely bloody love Yoda because of this structure. And I can't go into the depths of how well it works, but I would love you to take some screenshots as well of the slides. If you want these slides, let me know. I'm happy to share this. Now, some people will take action because they don't want to feel their problems anymore. They don't want to feel pain. Some people want to feel pleasure. They want to feel that good feeling. Now, the Yoda structure will give you that. All you need to think of is 4 things. 4 things. First of all, we want to create a you statement. How are you going to grab their attention? And it could be, do you or do you know someone who? Then we talk about 3 obstacles. So what are 3 obstacles your potential clients might have? Then how do you deliver on a solution for those 3 problems? And then you give a call to action. What is the next step they need to take? Now, when you're giving a call to action, you do not want it to always be a sales pitch. In fact, please don't. People will completely tune out. It should be 80% next step, 20% sales pitch. That's usually a good average margin for getting results on our social media. But if we think about it, who's in the room that's got a topic that I may be a little bit familiar with? I may not be. I know Lorraine's business too well, so I'm not going to go to her. But I want to give you a bit of an example on how this works. Now, I did see Lawrence Petrozelli, who was on here. Now, he's an accountant. He's very, very good accountant as well, if you're looking for one. But it could be something like, what could be 3 problems people have when going to see their accountant? Maybe they don't understand. What else? Someone throws something out that they don't understand about being at their accountant.
What's the difference between an accountant and a bookkeeper?
Difference, yeah. What's another one? Anyone else got anything that obstacles around going to an accountant? Maybe the cost, the investment of going to an accountant? Now, I'm going to pretend I'm Lawrence for a second, and I know I'm actually number dyslexic, so I am the worst possible person to think of content for an accountant. I work with a lot of bookkeepers and things like that, though, which is funny because I get to expand their way of thinking. But are you or do you know someone who's in business that's really finding it challenging to get to the support that they need? Hi, I'm Lawrence Petrozelli, and I'm an accountant with, I can't remember his business name, but a lot of people come to us and they're feeling like they don't understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. They also don't understand the difference between an accountant and a bookkeeper, and they're feeling like they're investing in something that really isn't necessary. We make things so much more simplified where we are. So I'm going to go into the delivery. We sit down with our clients and we set them up with a bookkeeper to do the majority of the day-to-day work to save them time and money moving forward. We also show them step by step that with their investment, with our monthly packages, we can have them covered for everything. So at tax time, they're not hit with a ginormous tax bill. If you want to feel more certainty about your accounting within your business, make sure you give us a call. We'd be happy to chat. Something like that. So we're going to go you statement to grab their attention, 3 obstacles, 3 ways we deliver a solution, and then we call them to action. Really simple way of thinking about it. Now, you might be thinking, why are we doing it in 3? People love to learn and remember in 3s. Love to learn and remember in 3s. It's part of the way our brain is wired. The other thing with this is, if someone's thinking that they're wasting money with their accountant, and I used a really crap example, I'm sorry, Lawrence, but if people are worried about having to invest in an accountant, and you say that they don't understand what the accountant's actually doing, and they don't know the difference between a bookkeeper and an accountant, and then the investment, they will stay on and listen to the first 2 points if they know the third point's going to be valuable for them. So this is a really strategic way of structuring your talking points. Before I go any further, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? I know I'm going really, really quickly because I've got more I want to give you. So all you need to think of is Yoda, use statement, obstacles, how do you deliver a solution, and then a call to action. Really, really simple way of doing video. Now, Kylie's been working with me for quite a while now, and the results that she has achieved is absolutely phenomenal. And I wanted to put this in here. She is an amazing, amazing person. And I love that she calls me a super nerd. Actually, I know I don't, but I think it's quite funny. But I wanted to let you know that these tweaks and having these structures and these strategies, they really do work. So properly preparing for being on camera. Let's go through this. I'm going to give you a little gift if you want to get your phone out and you want to scan this QR code. This document here, all you need to do is download it to your Google Drive. And you can use this. In here, we've got the short form video planner. This is where we put your core message. From there, we create our 6 messages and we have all of our video ideas. Once you have completed that, you will be able to use it again and again and again unless your business really shifts. Then we have the video breakdown. So we have what pillar it comes from, the topic, the emotional connection you want your audience to have, and everything is in there ready to go. Then I've also got in there 50 hooks. So you can have 50 different hooks that you can use and adapt them to your audience. And if you don't know what other call to actions you can do, I've got over 60 in there, plus a month-by-month calendar. So that's a little gift for you, because I know that when you understand how to use this, it can save you so much time, effort, and money. So I hope that you all get that and have a look at it so that you can benefit from creating your own video content. Like I mentioned before, what is your one key message? If you want to get onto video and you're doing a short form video, even when I'm doing a training, I break it down into a certain structure and recycle that structure. That is one of my specialties, is helping people build their online courses. But what is that one key message? Because if you have more than 3, you're diluting your message and people will tune out. It gets too much. But what is that you want your audience to walk away with? This is going to help you keep on track. So you need to hook your audience in. Now, the first 10 seconds are the most valuable. In short form video, they're now saying that your call to action should be in that first 10 seconds as well. It's very challenging to hook and do a call to action within the first 10 seconds, but it's doable with the right strategy. We want to provide instant value. We want people saying yes to our hook. This person gets me. This person understands me. Are you finding marketing really overwhelming? Nick might say something like that. You know, are you trying to get your website to more views? There's lots of different ways we can get people saying yes to it. Please stop starting with hello if that's what you're doing. Unless you are doing a Facebook Live and it's in a group that you know everyone, like if there's that familiarity in there and they're going to be listening to you regardless, it's still fine. But especially for your short form videos, please don't say hello. So some hook ideas. You don't have to just start with a you statement. You could ask a question. You could make a bold statement and then completely contradict it with a right wrong statement. You could state a fact or statistic. You could start with a quote. You could have a shock statement. There are lots of different ways of hooking people in. It could be a visual hook as well. Then you need to give it a call to action. Now, a big mistake I see is people will go on, they go, you can go to my website, or you can send me an email ad, or you can go and DM me, or you could do this, and it gives too many options. The easiest call to action is the one that'll get the most action. So if we're sending someone, just so someone's scrolling through Instagram and you go, send me an email ad, how likely are they to do it? If you go, give me a double heart or a comment below, how much more likely are they to do it? Think about how can we make it easier for the buying process? And what emotional state do you want your audience to feel? This is a huge thing. If we want people to feel passionate, we need to feel passion. If we want people to be in a real heart space, we need to feel that heart space. We want people to get excited. If I'm like, I'm so excited to be here, but I'm actually going, hi, I'm really grateful to be here. It's a mismatch. We've got to be able to be flexible by being able to tap into this, and then strategies you can do to do that. And I wish I had more time tonight. Also think about what platforms is it for. You may be creating video content and you may think it is only for short form video, but then you get talking and you're like, hang on a minute, that could have been a great YouTube video, but you've got your phone orientation the wrong way. Think about the platform it's for. Now, the majority of time, I will still record in landscape because it's very hard to turn something that's portrait into landscape. Paul, would you agree it's easier to turn something that's landscape into portrait?
The synonym for vertical starts with the same letter, vomit cam.
But it's the preferred thing for social media.
If you're going to TikTok or something that's going on to a Facebook story or something like that.
But you can't reutilize it in other formats.
No, you can't.
That's the thing. So if we're smarter about it,
make it twice.
You can change things. I did a video series a few weeks ago for a course, and I filmed 6 videos within 30 minutes. And from there, I also then, because I was smarter about it, I put pausing in the right space when I was talking. I then got 9 short form videos, but I was also spaced in the right way that I could edit it to that. So these are the things we've got to think about. But then what are 3 static posts you can do from one video? Is it something like a statement that you've made? Is it a statistic? Is it something about that? So think about how can you create static posts. It could be a behind the scenes static post of, hey, I'm here with Nick tonight. I've been filming until my phone's just died beside me, so I can capture that and be like, hey, I'm out there. We've got to be smarter about how we're doing this to save us time. Now, I do have a door prize. Nick, am I allowed to share what the door prize is?
Definitely not.
Announce it. You can
Definitely
announce
not. No. Yes, you can share it.
How have I gone for time? Have I got a little bit of time?
Yeah, you're doing well. You're doing well. We're sort of like about
half an hour,
6 minutes to go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have been trying to go as quickly as I can. So I've actually got a short form video that gives you your strategy, everything. It's called Get Real About Real, because if you're hiding under your head in the sand and you have not done short form videos yet, you really need to now. So I'm running that, and I'm going to give a spot to someone tonight for that. But I'd love to open it up that if anyone would like to have a conversation with me about a strategy we can come up with specifically for you, this is the QR code. You can have a look at that, but there's also a contact me section in there or book a strategy session. Please, if you've got any questions, I'm not going to bite. I've worked with Lorraine for a long time and I haven't bitten her yet, so you're all safe. But if you do want to know some strategies that can really elevate how you connect with your audience, please let me know. Would love to help. But I want to open it up. If anyone's got any questions, comments, concerns, what challenges have you faced with creating your own video content so far, or what is holding you back? Anyone? Right, Nick, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Actually, Jen, sorry, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Of course.
I have a question for you. It's Jenny here. I was reflecting on this today on my walk, and one of the things that I noticed that come up was I don't necessarily have an information-based product. And a lot of what I'm sharing usually is my own personal experience of being human in this world. And so some of the self-talk that comes up around that is this relevant for other people? Is it going to be of value to other people? And I guess at some level, you know, one of the things that is really present for me is that fear of exposure more than anything. So what are your suggestions for overcoming that kind of dynamic and self-talk, you know, when you're coaching and working with people?
You know, Jenny, thank you so much for sharing this, because a lot of business owners actually have the opposite problem, where we need to have this balance of warmth and competence in our content. We need warm content, which is our personality. It's the showing the behind the scenes. It's talking about silly things we did. Like I did one the other day on Lorraine saw it actually, going to the supermarket before I realized why my butt had been aching all day, because I had odd shoes on with odd heel heights and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't walking properly. And that's really engaging. That shows the real person. So yes, we need a balance of that. Depending on, I don't know a lot about your business, but we do need to show some of that personality. Now, if you are wanting to entertain, so there's three main categories of content: to entertain, to educate, and to inspire. So if you're wanting to do it more to inspire someone to change their lifestyle or something like that, then that's amazing. But I would be questioning if it's actually the fear of judgment. What are other people thinking of me? Does that come up for you, Jenny?
Yeah, I reckon there's probably that in the background. In my conversations one-on-one with people, sometimes I'll share stuff, and to my absolute amazement, generally, and I don't know, I'm laughing at myself here, but generally they resonate and can share an experience with me that is akin to what I'm talking about. But I guess it is that fear of judgment, or what do people think of me, you know?
I would be thinking about who can you be helping. I did a video quite a long time ago now, and I had to do what is referred to as a study of consequence. If I say this, how could that be taken? If I say this, how could that be taken? And it was a sensitive topic. And the next morning, I actually wrote in my diary, and this is one of my strategies for overcoming that fear, is positive visualization. So if I want to feel confidence, or if I want to feel heart space, I will imagine a time and close my eyes and almost meditate that feeling through every cell of my body. Now, the other side of positive visualization, and this is back when it was like I had a passion planner. I don't know if anyone knows what a passion planner is, but I never thought I would go to an online calendar. And I wrote at 11 o'clock that day, someone would message me saying it helped them. Now, at 9 o'clock the next morning, I didn't just get a text message. It was one of those long scrolling ones. Now, this was a woman who had never liked, never commented, and never shared. Now, so many people get so hung up on just getting more and more views, more and more likes, more and more shares, that they don't do it for the right purposes, right? Now, this woman had said that she had considered taking her own life, but because she saw that video, she was now getting help. Did that make it worth me stepping out there and sharing that message? Absolutely. Because Jenny, you don't know who you could be inspiring by sharing parts of your life. Keep going, girl.
Thank you. All right, I'm kind of tearing up now, but thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else? What about you, Aldwin? You're amazing. I've been following you for years. Have you got anything you would like to add?
Oh, thank you, Jen. Well, actually, I've really enjoyed this tonight. This has been awesome. We never learn less, as they say. And the world of mass media is changing so rapidly. And it's interesting because I actually start a lot of my interviews with hello, hello, right? So, and it's very different when we're saying hello on a show versus doing a short form video.
Absolutely.
So, there's so many different types of videos now. And of course, reels are taking off. So doing the little 1 minute videos, which we've actually been doing heaps more lately. We've been pumping out the reels lately and we're getting heaps of engagement. So I would suggest to anyone on here, if you're not doing reels, to really look at that, because it's amazing the reach you will get doing reels. So I think it's fantastic that you're teaching what you are, Jen. And, you know, I always look at an abundance mentality. I don't like the word competition in business. A lot of people use it. And I hate that word. I'm all about the abundance mentality, and let's share the love. And the more that we can raise awareness, the more hopefully that people will actually step out and do this and share their message with the world and make a bigger impact. So I loved it tonight. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and so with you on that. It's about finding the right person who's going to motivate you and keep you accountable to keep showing up.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So well done. It was great. Thank you.
So welcome.
Here's an interesting comment that's just come up on chat, Jen, from Jennifer Lancaster, who said her reel looked really terrible. I don't think it's supposed to use my computer to do it. Is there a difference between computer and phone for doing these sort of things? That's a really good question.
It depends on the type of camera you got. Look, to be honest, Paul would know a lot more about the tech side of this. I know what I know though, so he may have a lot more to add to this. Can I show you a little bit of something else as well, so that you feel a bit more comfortable? If you don't have equipment, all you need to do is put 2 fingers on the back of your phone. If you want to pick up your phone, you can feel it. Then you put a finger on the bottom, finger on the top, and then it keeps your thumb free. So this is great if you're out and about doing a live as well. So you can click the on off button, but it also acts, if you have your phone up, it acts as a phone stabilizer. Now with this, if you've got your settings on your phone amazing, you should get a pretty great, as long as you've got the stability on your phone as well, which is a camera setting, you'll get a fairly decent quality thing. If you may notice that I've got my arm up as well, my arm's going to get bloody tired, bloody quick, so it's going to be a quick video. But I've also made sure my camera is above eye height. With the camera on our computer, I've got a 1080, but if I went to 4K, my computer couldn't actually process it to be worth going to 4K. So it depends on your computer processor. But whenever I look back on something I filmed on my computer compared to on my phone, far out the quality is so much better on my phone.
So totally. If you just look at the gallery here tonight, and you see the difference in quality from the cameras, and it's nothing against the people that have got, but a lot of them may only be 720, yeah. 1080 absolute minimum. And then, well, in this type of situation where it's a live webinar telecast, it also depends on then your internet capacity. Mm. But when you're recording, I don't use I'm on a PC. Even if I use my laptop, I have a Logitech camera, which I sit on the top. I don't use the camera inside the laptop because they're all lousy quality. They've got a lens the size of a pinhead. You know, my cameras have a lens this round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's about being able to maximize it and all that sort of thing. It may come down to a little bit of your lighting, but the camera's got a white light balancer in it as well. So wherever your autofocus is focused on, that's what it's going to pick up on. So the camera distorts. We've got to remember we're turning something that's three-dimensional into two-dimensional. Nick, do I have a little bit of time to give them one more something else?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do I? Oh my God. I always run late in these things, and I think I did go a little bit fast. If you can, who's got pants on? Is there anyone that's got no pants on, or everyone's all right now? All right. I always like to have a bit of disclosure. You can turn your camera off. But what I want you to do is if we get into speaker stance, you're going to feel a lot more confident. But I'm going to give you a little tip for when you're on camera next as well. So I want you to stand up if you can. If you want to play along with me, please stand up, somebody. Doesn't matter if you're not in frame. Beautiful. I can see some people. Lorraine said this before. You can do this sitting as well, but it's always best to feel it when you stand. What I want you to do is put your feet hip width apart. And I want you to make sure your hips are evenly weighted, so you're not swinging from side to side. Now, what I want you to do is roll your shoulders back. This is your balance and your base. Your arms are then by your side. They're not holding on to you. If you are rubbing hold of your legs or you're rubbing your arms, it's showing a lot of uncertainty for your audience, and we want to show up with certainty. So unless we're moving with purpose, and that's a training that I run, we need to have our arms just by our side, standing strong. We need to take up a bit of space, which can be very uncomfortable for a lot of feminine energy. They want to play small, but no, we need to stand up strong. If you want to look better in front of the camera and you've got your camera 10 degrees above eye line and that's engaging with your eyes, all you need to do is put your chin just slightly forward and it's going to give you a better jawline. Because I'm sure we've all been on Zoom where we've looked at someone and all we can see is their chin. If you've got a laptop that's leaning back like this and you're trying to film yourself, guess what? It's going to be focusing here instead of here. So then if we look at our screen, so we're all standing, you can't all see in frame right now, but there's what's called the rule of thirds. Now, if I was in Paul's studio, he would probably have me in the first third or the third third. But when we're on an angular postulation, because it's softer, isn't it? But when we're talking directly to camera, we want to have our eye line. If we remember the Brady Bunch and it was in 3, so if we've got our screen broken into 9 squares, our eye line should be on the top third line. So if you're sitting down the bottom of your screen, we can't engage with you as much. So just think about these little extra bonus tips when you're creating your video. How much space do I have around me? Because everything's telling a story. Nick, I'm going to hand it back to you. I hope I've added lots of value to everyone tonight.
Fantastic. That's excellent, Jen. That has been a sensational evening. Really good information. And that last part was absolute gold. Because that rule of thirds is one of the most important visual aspects when you're on video. And if nothing else, I think, if you just remember, make sure your head is at the top. And so as long as your head's at the top, you're good. So thanks very much for that.
And the rule of thirds with the eyes on that top 1/3 line, it applies whether you are back here, and notice to get that there's more headroom, or if you come up really close, it's okay to have less headroom because the eyes are still on that there.
That's close enough, Paul. You can move back now, please. Please move back from the screen.
I love you too, Azim.
Excellent. All right. Well, look, thanks very much, Jen, for all of that, and thanks, Paul, for chipping in with your knowledge as well, which has been fantastic. And hopefully, we will start to see some videos coming out by people that are here on tonight's show. So if you do, feel free to tag me in or tag Jen into these videos or tag each other into these videos. And let's have a look. I mean, we're not going to be critical. We're going to be positive with it all as well too. But the most important thing is you get out there and start making these videos, because that's really is what's going to start moving the needle with your marketing by having the courage to do some of this. Now, in order to help you with it, now Jen has got that giveaway. We've dropped the link into chat as well too, so you might want to save that chat. So you do it now with those 3 little dots at the bottom of the screen, but also do it towards the end because we've got some other links to go in as well. But Jen does have this door prize as well too. We are going to draw the door prize, and we've got a special way of doing it. So don't run away yet, because you need to be in the room to win it. So Jen, just run us through what that door prize is again.
It's a limited spot in our 4-week program, Get Real About Real. So you're going to get your video plan. You're also going to get how to explore, how to create, how to edit. We've got a library of videos for you tutorials to follow. and how to grow through creating short form video content.
Fantastic. Who wants that? If your hand's not up, then we'll just take you out of the draw. Excellent. All right. Well, let's bring up our wheel of names. We've got all of your names of everybody in here. Remember, you have to be in the room to win. So if you've disappeared, well, you're not going to know, are you? Unless someone tells you that that you won. But all of your names are in there, and we're going to spin that wheel, and our lucky winner is going to be the one that it lands on. So, JM, let's spin that wheel. Everybody else, virtual drum roll, please. And our winner is Neil McAlpine. Neil.
Yay! Thanks,
Wahoo!
Jen. Sorry, I'm not showing video. I'm on hotspotting, and that makes it very difficult to keep consistent flow. So I appreciate the gift.
With your photo there, your eyes are on that 1/3 line.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, Neil. Glad you won that. We'll hook you and Jen up tomorrow by email. So I'll introduce you, and then you can organise how to claim that together. So well done.
Thank you.
So if you've enjoyed tonight, and I hope you have, there's lots of takeaways from tonight, then the replay of this will be up on the SmashGo YouTube channel tomorrow afternoon. If you're not a subscriber there, great opportunity for you to go and subscribe there now. When you go and subscribe to the channel, there's a little bell that appears. Click the bell and you'll get a notification of when the video is available to watch. And for those of you that are creating videos and you don't have a YouTube channel, now's a good time to start to set up your YouTube channel. And in fact, next week, we have a YouTube specialist who is going to be talking about, just how to do that as well too. His name's Orson Lord. He's going to be with us next week. And I was speaking with him on Friday. He's got some really interesting stuff to talk about video. So what Jen's spoken about tonight, overlaid over the top of what he's going to be talking about with YouTube and your channel there is actually going to make you an absolute powerhouse when it comes to some of these videos. And so combine both those sessions together, it's just going to be sensational for you. So that'll be for next week. If you're not a member of the Business Owners Smashing It Online Facebook group, go to Facebook, go and join that now. And remember, we pop all of those cool online tools and apps in there. And of course, the replay of that is in there as well too, because we're streaming this live. And if you know anyone else that would benefit from coming along to these sessions as well, feel free to send them the link and let them know that it's on, and all of the links are now in as well. So now is a good time to save the chat. Click those 3 little dots at the bottom of chat. And when you do that, it will have a link to where you saved it in your computer. Click on that, it'll take you straight through to there. So once again, a big, huge round of applause for Jen for coming on tonight's show. Thanks for sharing your wisdom and all of those tips tonight.
Thanks so much for having me, Nick.
That's an absolute pleasure. And thanks everyone for coming along and joining us tonight. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a sensational week and start that Christmas shopping early.